have here a 2015 Jayco Seismic 4212 model with the Schwinteck slide system. What happened was the slide gear jumped on the track. And it would be hard to see from down there, but you can see that there's chewed up marks on the aluminum track of the slide system. So once it jumps the track and it gets out from top to bottom, there's no going back. You have to replace the slide mechanism to repair it. Now for this one, we were fortunate enough to get the channels, the motors, the gears, and the rails to replace it as just one complete unit, rather than trying to rebuild the blocks that hold the gears and replacing just the rails themselves. In preparation of removing the slide rails and the channels for the Schwinteck slide system, what you want to do is support the slide from underneath. I have a couple of stands on either side, and then I have a jack to help control the pitch if the slide gets out of level or plumb with the wall of the RV. We're going to remove some of the screws in the center of the rail system that make it easier to get the slide mechanisms out of the way once we detach them from the slide itself. So we have also on the inside, on the top of the slide, blocks to block the slide from tipping out on the top. You want to make sure that you block the slide from moving. You can use braces, or you can use pieces of wood to block the slide from moving back out while you're removing the slide mechanism. On the channels of the slide system, we're going to remove a few of the screws at the top and bottom, and then in the center, so that we just have about 6 screws holding it in kind of midway on the top and midway from the bottom. Then if there's any type of sealant like silicone on the sides of this, we're going to score that so that we can easily pop the channels out on the slides. We're going to take a box cutter and we're going to cut the silicone, trying to just cut the silicone itself, not to cut the side wall of the RV. And take your time, a little bit of pressure, control the blade, try to make the line as straight as possible, and you can always scrape the rest of the silicone off once you have the slide channel out of the way. We have the slide supported on the outside and on the inside, so we're going to remove the rest of the screws, and then we're going to unplug one motor so that we have this motor that drives this side still plugged in, and then we'll use the motor to drive the channel in and out, and then we'll remove the rails after we get the channel out of the cavity inside the wall. Yeah, that should be good enough. Hey Anthony, I'm gonna need you to carefully unplug that motor down at the bottom. You're gonna have to unplug that motor down at the bottom.
Okay.
Because we use the motor to drive out the channel away from the wall. Now we can unplug the motor, undo the rest of the screws on the rails, and then pull this whole system out and prep it for the new system.
There's some kind of like seal there as well. There you go. There, it's off. The bottom's sitting on the floor.
In and out.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get this motor back.
Oh, get it so that you can get the rail out further.
Yeah, get the channel out further. All right, so it's counterintuitive. You're gonna have to push in to get the channel to come out. All right, push in. Okay, push out a little bit. Okay, stop. Now go in. All right, try going out a little bit more.
Brace, jack, and all that.
I wanted you to try to push it out a little bit more.
Like a couple more inches?
Like, yeah, one or... All right, go ahead. I think that might be all she wrote. I think the block might be stopping you now. No, I don't want any extra force because I don't want to. I'm more worried about the fascia out here. Just needs some finesse, not power.
Yeah. Yeah, the top's free and clear. It's just the angle. A little tighter there again. Does it just need to come out? The slide need to come out a little bit further? To give it more of an angle?
That, then we're running out of angle. Right now on our stands, we're at an angle. So we have the risk of those things falling out because they're already at an angle.
Yeah. some of that with silicone. Might have just been that breaking free. Oh yeah.
We have multiple holes here from the channel that goes inside the wall. And we're going to need to fill these holes up with some epoxy to help seal these holes up and keep them from leaking, and also give some strength back to the wall itself when we go to drill holes for our new section, when we put in the new channels. Apparently this slide has been replaced. Slide mechanism's been replaced before. That's why there's so many different holes on each side. So it didn't come with a seal between the RV sidewall and the channel. So I had some of this material from previous jobs that I'm cutting down, so we have a barrier, moisture barrier between the RV channel and the sidewall of the RV.
And is Anthony installing it over here?
Yeah.
What's that side? Got that way. Under there, but it's tight. Let's see. Gotta get that. Yeah, I got it.
We're installing the screws for the rails and attaching the rails to the side of the slide first. Then we'll drive the channel into position and tighten the channel up to the slide outside wall when we have it all lined up. Right now we're checking to make sure that the channels are plumb, and we've leveled the RV and checked the RV level in several different spots to make sure that it's level front to rear. So now that they're plumb, we'll be able to screw them into the sidewall of the RV, and then after that's in, we'll go through and caulk the edges. Now go back out.
Can you see this, Rebecca?
Now release it.
You're going to want to use something to coat the seal in that'll protect the seal and also lubricate it a little bit. I chose this protectant. It can be picked up on Amazon. Fairly inexpensive, and it's good to help repel dust and lint and keep the seals nice and moist.